Hello, viewers, geography fans, GeoGuessr players. Maybe you just want to learn a little bit more about the US. I am the professor. I'm here to teach you today about Kentucky. Shmoo Gaming, check out their channel on YouTube for great content, has just published another challenge. This is part 33 in their State of Confusion challenge, and I am particularly excited. It is Kentucky. If you watch my channel, you might know I am originally from Ohio. I spent a great deal of time living in that state. I now live in West Virginia, in western West Virginia, and I don't really want to jinx things, but I've been seeing a new girlfriend, a wonderful lady companion. She lives in Kentucky. That's the reason why I bring this up. She lives in Ashland, Kentucky. So I have been spending a great deal of time in the state of Kentucky. And this sign is telling me that we are in the eastern part of the state. We can see Whitesburg, Pikeville, Hazard right here. So if we're going towards Whitesburg and Hazard, I'm guessing we are going that way. And if we're going to Pikeville, that's going to be up Route 23. So I believe we're going to be looking at 23 here. It is, it's a north-south highway. It's at an industrial park. I think I'm close to where we need to be. We're at the 119 south off of 23. Yep. So if we're going south, right 1/4 of a mile. I dislike interstate rounds greatly because they're very difficult to pinpoint, but you can see just the Appalachian hilliness of this part of Kentucky. Wow. Getting ready to actually drive this road tomorrow. Route 23 down here through the hills, down here through Pikesville. Pound and Norton, Virginia there. Yeah, I'm headed to University of South Carolina for a conference. So I'll be in Columbia, South Carolina for a while. Should be fun. Did not 5K it. Catalyst up there near Pikeville. Where was Chaos? Did she? Oh, they both went Pikeville. Okay, so yeah, they were on the 23-119, but they were just too far up, about an hour south on that same road. Guys, but you found Pikeville. I would imagine, because I recall that at least the Catalyst, and I think both of you lived in Nashville for a while, or maybe you still do, I don't know. But I know you have some sort of Nashville connection, so I know that you might have spent some time in Tennessee too. We see that this is a very different part of Tennessee, right? If we just compare this round 2 to round 1, we're incredibly different. So I would not even be surprised if we are on the completely different side of the state now. The eastern part, very hilly, but much of Kentucky, of course, is very hilly. All right, we get some blue Kentucky license plates. They're like pale blue, the majority of them. This is, I'm not sure that this is what one would call the pennyrile, but I know that is a region of Kentucky with like these rolling hills. Okay, I got my first clue, and it ain't much of one, but I got a Rumpke bin. Rumpke is a Cincinnati-based company. So like Rumpke trash bins, you are going to find in real local lawyers. You're going to find them in Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky, Dayton, Columbus, where I live in West Virginia, we still have Rumpke, but it's like 3-hour radius maybe of Cincinnati is where you find these Rumpke bins. So I'm going to go in the northern part of the state, and I'm probably going to hedge even too far. I'm going to go near Cincinnati. Yeah, okay. I'm like, that might be a bad idea, and it was, but it was much farther down. But good guesses all around. We're very close after 2 rounds. Okay, Chaos is leading the Catalyst pretty healthily. The couple good guesses in Kentucky. I don't see why, because I think they both guessed Pikeville in that first round, which wasn't a bad guess. definitely correct part of the state, right? Here we get what I would call even a third landscape. This is much closer to that last round. Stone Ridge Farm, Muddy Creek. Doesn't help me. Kentucky is giving me no clues today. Can you just like take it easy on me? Maybe give me like Winchester Field Operations, Muddy Creek Road. Okay, so looks like we're in Winchester. At least I can get some clues here. Right? So, Winchester Field Operations. Where's good old Muddy Creek Road? Do we think that schmooze can find Muddy Creek Road? Probably. If nothing else, I'm just going to leave it in Winchester. Certainly the central part of Tennessee, or Kentucky, which is where we were in the last round as well, would look like this. So we get one round deep in the mountains, and I say like about as deep as you can get in the Kentucky mountains, and then we get two in the more central part of the state. Kentucky is incredibly wide. So before this seed is done, we might get like a Western Kentucky round. I think that's more where what's called the Pennyrile is, that area. I'm going to have to research much more about Western Kentucky, I think. Still going to hold out hope for an Asheville round. Still going to hold out hope. Or Ashland. Sorry. Okay, so they both went Winchester too, and they both edged me out. Good job. There's Old Muddy Creek and Muddy Creek. We were closer to Winchester than I thought. I think that's really what threw me off. Ooh, this. I was going to say this might be Ashland. It looks like it. It really looks like it. There's no sidewalks. It's hilly. It's probably more like, I would say, Lexington suburbs or Louisville suburbs. Yeah, Druid Hills Road, Chenoweth Lane. Think we are looking at Louisville suburbs here. But as to where, we're at 42, which would put us in Louisville. Rumpke, there's another Rumpke. Rumpke goes farther into Kentucky than I thought in that round, apparently. So I hope that's helpful. All right, Brownsboro Road on 42. You're going to see 42 goes through Louisville and not Lexington. I'm almost positive. Because 42, comes down out of Cincinnati and then goes along the river. That is what I thought. So we are going to be on Brownsboro Road in Lexington. Or I'm sorry, my mind today. Okay, so we're somewhere in Louisville. I do not know where Brownsboro Road is. Do we see Brownsboro, Kentucky anywhere? And is there any chance that we're actually not in Louisville, that we're in like Paducah or something crazy like that? I don't think so. I think with the Rumpke Bins, I'm still going to go with Rumpke Bins, even though they let me down. It's still a good clue. So I'm going to go Crestwood? Crestwood? No, we're near 42. Okay, cool. Nice. So just plonking central Louisville got Catalyst a better result. Chaos didn't look like she could find that US highway and just went Lexington. I mean, certainly if you had no clues, I was just a 50-50. Louisville, Lexington. It just looked a little bigger than Lexington, I guess. Lexington's still a pretty big city, though. It really is. All right, 502. 502 is the Louisville area code. Yeah. So if nothing else, I'm going to go close to Louisville and close to where we were the last time. We're getting like a pattern. We're moving west across the state. Not very far west, though. So we are somewhere in the 502. This could really even be like outer Louisville suburbs. I mean, they would look like that, kind of like the exurbs of Louisville, especially as we are going northwest, and it looks like maybe we're starting to get into a little bit more civilization here. Yeah, these houses definitely look suburban, or exurban, rather. Half of my time has been spent moving through rural Kentucky. We passed a black and white street sign, and there's another one. I don't know what to do with those, but it's a random observation. I noticed we're also 12 miles, probably east of somewhere, if we are going left. I see there's a junction 1492. Notice those oval and the 4-digit. That's probably the most helpful tip I could give you in Kentucky. You get the oval signs and you get the 4 digits. A lot. 1034. I'm going to go in like exurban Louisville. Okay, and it was, but it was just on the other side. Should have gone like LaGrange over Shively or wherever I was, yeah. Another hotly contested one. Narrowly edged out the Catalyst, who was really surging there towards the end. 15774 versus 395. So the Catalyst takes another one. Wow. Decisively beating the Chaos Queen now. And I saw that next up is going to be South Dakota. I'm not going to lie, guys. I don't know if I'm going to be playing South Dakota. Was very excited about Indiana and Kentucky. South Dakota, though, you should be cooking in that state because South Dakota has a pretty recognizable state grid system. So I might see you there, or I might see you in another state altogether. Thank you for watching.